Hold on. I gotta test my.
It was close, but it
Hold
was
on. I gotta
it was late.
filter my.
What are you doing right now? You're testing your pop filter
I gotta
live.
test my. Yeah.
Why are you testing your pop filter?
I'm also double checking if my lip gloss is popping.
Oh my! What are we on today?
What?
Listen, it's cold outside, so my lips are feeling a little dry. Make sure.
So you were checking to see if your lip gloss was popping.
Well,
let me make sure my lip gloss is cool.
My external analgesic lip protectant was popping.
I don't even know where I am right now. Like
I don't know where I am either, but I'm participating in the shenanigans.
Why not?
I'm in a time dimensional. I'm in a dimensional time.
Wait. I'm in a time dimensional.
A time dimensional. I have to be. There's no possible way that I'm in a regular time space. So I have to be in a time dimensional. Because this is insane.
I love it.
Yo, I can't.
A time dimensional.
Yeah, that don't turn that into an emo, because we have a tendency of saying things and it turns into a thing. This cannot be one of them.
This does not need to be a thing.
This does not need
everything.
It'd be neither does the lip gloss thing. That was just me feeling myself at that point.
One thing is said, yo, that needs to be an emote.
It's crazy how fast stuff just gets crazy.
And then it turns into an emote, and Twitch accepts it same day. Yo, it gets wild on this
Twitch
side.
Has been on it recently. Twitch, I don't know.
Twitch been on point.
I think it's our man KJ. Our man KJ's in there pulling the strings, and so
we have an insider man.
Yeah, we've just been getting through. We've just been getting our emotes and stuff.
Because at first, what was our first one?
Putting in work.
It took like a week, right, for our first one to get accepted.
It took a while.
It used to take a while, a long time.
And now we're down to minutes. Yeah, we got an inside person.
Hours get approved within hours. Hours within hours. Yeah,
hours get approved within hours.
Oh,
I see on it today.
Wordplay. Okay,
this must be a time dimensional. Okay, that's it.
It's a time dimensional. I'm telling you, we're in the time dimensional.
You think you're cute just because you beat Chrono Trigger? Now you're gonna throw out all these time terms out there like that.
Listen, yo,
but I'm listening.
That was one of the best fights I've ever had. Not ever had, but it was a very, very good fight. Very, very good.
So the game holds up after all these years.
Yeah. And to be fair, like the game is, a lot of people said this. The game is a kiddie RPG, and I agree. It really is. There's not a lot of there's no battles in the overworld. All of the battles you get into are scripted. And really every enemy has a method, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, gimmick. Like every enemy has a gimmick.
Right.
Once you learn how to beat it, it's simple. It's just do that, you beat it, you're done. So
now Chrono Trigger was made by a dream team.
Yeah.
As we had so do you think they were just kind of playing around? Imagine if they like quote took it seriously.
I think they did take it seriously. I just think at the time,
but you think they were having fun with it?
I don't know. Did that come out? No, that wasn't like one of their first RPGs. No, it was Super Nintendo. Chrono Trigger original came out, right?
Yeah.
Super Nintendo.
Honestly, was not their first foray.
I don't know the method behind their madness. I don't know. I just know the end result was like a kiddie RPG. But don't get me wrong, because after you get to the end game, to the point where you have the only thing left to do is fight the final boss, without doing the side quest, you was not beating that boss, bro. It's impossible. Impossible.
Oh, Lavos? Yeah, you thought you was just about to be like, oh, here, Lavos, done. No.
Nah, it don't work that way, huh?
It don't work that way.
Dude, I was like, all right, I'm level 38. I got nothing else to do. I'm pulling up. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna go try. Nope. Slid immediately.
And then what level were you when you actually went back and did it?
Level 50, I believe, around there.
That's around like the typical level of an RPG that you want to go at the end, at least 40s to 50s, you would say.
Yeah,
because once you're like in the 70s and 80s, being ridiculous.
Yeah. Once you hit 60, like you're probably too overpowered for him. He at 50, he gave me a really difficult time. Like Marl was my last. Marl, however you would say her name, was my last character, and she was down to like 30 HP. And then I was able to revive the whole party. Like, yo, it was wild. But At 50, it was definitely difficult, and that was my second try, and I almost got wiped again. So at 60, I think you'll do very well. At 70, it's just that's OP.
Of course, okay.
Yeah.
But because no, I think I want to go back and like review all the endings. Like I did my bid. I played the game. I beat it.
Oh no.
You gotta-
No, we're not doing that. There's like 12, 13 of them Johns, bro.
Man
No.
said,
Yes, there is.
No,
And I want.
we're not doing that.
No.
Listen, I played Nier, so I'm already familiar with that.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you for that life, if you got that kind of you strong like that, then I see it.
And it's kind of funny how I touch on that, and you'll see why a little later in the segment. But
Man said, if you get that type of strength, like, go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you strong like that. Do your thing. Me, on the other hand, no. I can't do that.
No.
One and done. Well, technically, I got 2 endings in that game, so
right.
I went over and beyond.
Yeah.
What? All the more reason
I never finished that game, so
you never beat Chrono Trigger?
You did? No, I never did. It's on my list. Yeah. It's on that list that we did a couple of months ago of our need to beat games.
Yeah,
Chrono Trigger was on that list for me.
And that's one of those games where you can still watch somebody play it, beat it, you play it, have a completely different experience.
I'd say still play it. I mean, the ending I got was like the perfect ending, but I only got the perfect ending because someone in my chat was like, "Yo, do this procedure," and that's how I got the perfect ending.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Gotcha. So like you can end up with a completely different ending than I did.
Right. That's dope.
Like that.
That's very dope. Ending? Like that will give you an incentive to play an old game that your friends have beat because there could be a different finish for it.
You know? Oh, I'm so glad you said that. And speaking of dope and incentive, it was just announced today or yesterday that Outriders is going to be free on Game Pass for the Xbox, which is dope because you get a brand new game free on day of.
Dang.
And incentive to get the Xbox Game Pass because you get a brand new game free day of. Once again, proving my point that Xbox Series X is better than PlayStation this year.
How did we get over here?
Oh, I don't know. Just segue.
No, that was a terrible segue. First of all,
dope and incentive. That was a perfect segue.
It is dope because, as you guys know, I'm pumped to play that game, and I don't have to pay for it. It's the sickest thing in the world.
I mean, not having to pay for it definitely is an incentive, but I'm just curious. That's all. Never mind.
And is it not dope?
It is very dope.
Okay.
That's neither here nor there, you know.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out how we got here. That's all.
You know how we got here?
In case we end up in a time dimension.
We're in the time dimension. We might could be.
Yo, well, can you pull us?
Before we started,
yeah.
Shout out to Tony for the time dimensional and Jesse for the bits. All right,
typical. Man. Yeah, pull us out of this time dimension. Oh my god.
I don't know if I want to leave it. It's kind of cozy here, honestly.
Oh my
God. Welcome everybody to another episode of Trigger Talk TV, where we talk all things video games and video games related. I am Key, of course, and I'm here with my wonderful co-host B.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen?
And Reese.
Welcome to the time dimensional.
Why would you pull us back in?
To the time dimensional.
That's what they do. You escape them, and it dimensions you again.
There's no escaping.
There's no escaping time dimensional. See, you did something else.
Gosh, what am I involved
you are
in?
here. Once you are here, you are there, which is also here. There's no escaping it.
Okay, we are in the time
We're
dimension.
adding rules to the time dimensional.
The time dimension.
When we did the intro, we'd be over this, but I guess not. I guess this is a running theme. No. Episode 44.
You'll understand the concept shortly. There is no escaping the time dimension.
No, I get it. We're in. We're locked in.
That's it.
Episode 44, the time dimension.
Episode 44, time dimensional. That we have to title it now. That it's been decided as we're doing this live.
The time dimensional.
Pull us off this thing, man. What you got for me?
Speaking of time dimensional, let's go back to 2001 when a game that was released called Gothic. Now, a lot of people may have heard of this game. I haven't, and the only reason why I haven't is because this game was a PC game. Unfortunately, fortunately.
Fair enough.
So the game was released in 2001 and was devved by a company called Piranha Bytes. and published by 3 different publishers in 3 different locations.
Wow.
But one of them being
that due to like localization things like that could happen.
Yeah. So one of them was THQ. And this was a single player RPG. I'm sorry, a single player ARPG. Excuse me.
Sounds good.
That's good.
Which was well received, despite having Morrowind for competition. It was criticized for its difficult control scheme and high system requirements. It was so funny.
I'm sorry that was I just 2001 and high system requirements. Okay.
I knew it. I figured at least Reese would want to know what the system requirements were back then. So you wanted to have XP or Windows XP 2000 ME, 98 or Vista. What is ME? Microsoft Edge?
Literally the worst version of Windows to ever release. It's called Millennium Edition.
Okay.
You don't want anything to do with that.
You wanted that. You wanted Intel Pentium 3 700 megahertz.
Oh, that baller processor.
We weren't even in the gigahertz.
It gets better. 256 megabyte of RAM or higher.
Oh, so much RAM.
3D graphics card with 32 megabytes of RAM. DirectX 8.1.
Oh my God.
4 gigabyte hard drive, and DirectX sound compatible. So back in 2000, 2001, that was asking for a lot. That was a steep price to pay.
Because back those motherboards, you actually had a specific slot for sound cards. So DirectX sound was already running you possibly another $100 or so.
Yikes. So it was criticized for that. But despite all of that, they went on to make 3 more titles with DLC involved, all receiving very favorable reviews, except the 4th one, Arcania, Gothic 4.
It had a
weird name.
We don't speak about that one. Whatever the case.
Okay, so we will apologize to the Gothic community. We didn't know.
We didn't know. We are ignorant in this realm.
That is the game we do not speak of, but the game has been relatively very well received ever since it first came out.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Then, back in 2019, THQ Nordic released a surprised playable teaser of the remake to gauge interest in the game, which is kind of different. They took a different approach because normally, I'm sorry, I said teaser, a playable teaser. This is one that you could play, and which is a different take because normally you just kind of release a teaser or just announce, hey, we're working on this game, blah blah. But they actually they wanted feelers, because what happened was they just acquired the company that or acquired the rights to Gothic, and they were fans of the game itself, and so they said in 2019, the series became part of THQ Nordic, and being fans of the original games, we began thinking and experimenting with what could be done. While exploring, we realized Gothic is still iconic, but simply remaking it wouldn't work. So therefore, they're calling this a reimagining of the game. They're not it's not a remake, it's a reimagining. It's kind of the same game, but in their eyes, how they would have done the game. Basically.
Gotcha.
So it's a remake.
It's a remake.
Right.
Okay.
So it's a remake. They're just saying that
I
to
mean,
give it
like
some...
the beginning is completely different, huh?
They're saying that because they want you to know that we're putting our imprint on it.
It's THQ. Like Piranha made the original. This is THQ making the game. THQ Nordic making this game.
Gotcha.
No, I'm seeing we're just adding terms to the already complicated gaming dictionary. So
you know what? I actually had a discussion with somebody earlier about Final Fantasy VII Remake and their very large distaste for the remake.
I saw that.
And because they liked Final Fantasy VII OG so much, they ran through the game so many times, they felt as though Final Fantasy VII Remake, that should have been, they wanted a one-to-one retelling of the story.
Yeah.
They could have changed like the mechanics all they wanted to, but the way they told the story, they wanted a one-to-one remake of that.
That's
And
yeah,
so,
respect. I
Yeah.
get that.
There's a lot of people out there like that.
I mean, Dark Souls did it.
No, see but that's what I said. He said they can change the Dark Souls made a one-to-one of the entire game.
Yeah.
He said he didn't mind that they changed the mechanics.
Okay.
But it's the story that he wanted to stay as a one-to-one.
Yeah, and the story's the same in that game, right? In Dark Souls?
What game? And Dark Souls? Yeah, but the mechanics of the game the same as well.
The same. So you might as well be okay.
Demon
Demons? Yeah. Oh yeah. I still get those two confused. But yeah, y'all know what I mean.
Oh, you said Dark Souls? Yeah, whatever. I know what you meant. So in any case, this is a reimagining. So this is kind of the same I'm assuming they're gonna tell the same story, but just take their own path to get to certain points. But just 2 months after the playable teaser was released, THQ Nordic confirmed that the game is going forward, and they formed an entire studio in Barcelona to work on this game called Alchemia Interactive. And Alchemia Interactive is actually their branch that will be working specifically on RPGs, ARPGs, and the like, with their first title actually being this remake. This is going to be their hello world to their company.
Respect.
Right, respect.
So also, okay, so the story, man, I don't know the story. I mean, they don't really have much information on what they're currently working on like right now. But as far as like the playable teaser goes, you get to play through a vast amount, a good amount, about an hour to 2 hours worth of the intro of the game.
Interesting.
And so the story follows a king that basically he's like this very successful king. He was in a war and he beat everybody except the goblins, or the orcs. I'm sorry, the orcs. And then to fight the orcs, he had to mine some ore. And to get the ore, he just sent every prisoner. It doesn't matter what you did, petty crime, whatever. He sent you to this island to go mine ore. And then he had mages close in the island, like lock them in there, sealed them in there so that nobody else can get into that island. Or so that nobody could leave the island.
Right.
But then a rebellion happened on that island. And then the prisoners took over the island and started upcharging the king for the ore.
Respect. Let's go.
Yep. So now this is where the part that doesn't make any sense. Now the story takes place when a new prisoner goes to the island. Why are you still sending prisoners to this island, strengthening their army? That makes no sense.
Right.
Whatsoever.
Well, he's probably thinking, well, I just keep contributing to the workforce. At least I don't get it.
It's really, I don't know. But in any case, you go this new guy, he goes to the island and everything is just all hell breaks loose. There's like demons running around, there's creatures. It's like wild in there. We don't know what's going on. Now, the game has a combat system that is like, the game plays like I'll say like it's a 3D ARPG. It's open world, and it looks like The Witcher or Dragon's Dogma or something along those lines. But the combat plays like For Honor, and that's what completely knocked me away, like off the rip. I wasn't feeling that at all. I want to be able to freely move into combat, out of combat, whatever. I don't want to pull up. It literally, like, you have use the right stick and you can change your stance. It's up, left, or right, or whatever, and you can block, and you can just like, well, I haven't played For Honor in a long time, but
Great Value Ghost of Tsushima.
Just like Value Ghost of Tsushima.
Great Value.
Oh, Great Value.
You mentioned the stances. I'm like, okay, yeah, water stance. Now I'm gonna do my thing here. Then like,
but it sounds more like For Honor though.
More for For Honor.
No, I think it's because
you change your stances with the stick as well.
Fluid.
Yeah.
This is also you have and you have to depending on your stance, you have to block like that, and but they tell you. So the first thing that threw me off was that they have that system, but there's creatures in the game. So I'm thinking, how are you gonna know? Like, there's creatures. It's not like there's no sword. There's no real way you can tell direction. There's literally like red arrows that tell you basically which stance direction you want to be in, so you can block properly. Like the game tells you which direction you want to block in. Another thing that threw me off. I'm like, no, I don't like that.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Because that's For Honor on easy or normal.
Yeah,
when you put it on hard, it takes it off.
For Honor does that?
In the campaign. Yeah. See, most of you guys didn't play the For Honor campaign. So in the For Honor campaign on normal, they give you the blinking lights to tell you like.
Actually, yeah, I remember that. From. Yep, where it's coming from.
It turns red. It literally flashes red in that
direction.
It is
like, oh yeah, you might wanna.
Yeah. Wow. In like the last moment though, like not for the entire attack, but for like the last moment, it does give you a red indicator. Then when you put it on hard, it pulls that away.
That whole thing's gone. Yeah.
And online,
it's not I think I only played online because I've never seen that.
Yeah. Online, it only shows up for what? The unblockables, right?
Yeah. Just to let you know, like, you about to get hit. Yeah. So the only reason I know that about those lines is because we played the campaign. I think we did it on normal just to get it over with.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got that. I mean, you also have a sidestep as well. But all in all, to me, the combat was just too slow for the type of game that I would like to see. And the fact that, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just, it's extremely slow for me. I'm not into it. You can run, you can climb, and you could loot. The looting is not extensive as an Oblivion or an Elder Scrolls game. And another thing that threw me off is that the climbing isn't fluid as well. There's a prompt. Like you can't just, I was actually watching the guy play the game. I watched like 45 minutes of his run, and he was going and he was trying to run up to the wall, and you see him jump at the wall, but you can't. You have to go up to the wall or the mountain, whatever, and wait for you see a giant A pop up. And you have to push the button.
Climb things with a prompt. You
climb once the prompt
comes up. And then even if you're in midair, they didn't put anything in to be like, well, when you get near it, you can just mash A to then climb it.
Right. No, because he would run up. You see him go up to the wall and then like jump at the wall. And he's like, nope, he stands there. The prompt comes up, then he presses and he climbs.
He has to stand there and wait. It doesn't be like, oh, I see him approaching this wall. Let me give him the prompt to let him know that this is an option. He has to stop.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's so many examples of that, and so many of these open world games like Horizon and Assassin's Creed.
Bam.
There's so many games that do that.
So much.
You jump early and it's like, oh, like if you just get near this thing, you just press a button and it'll climb. Ouch.
Yeah. And what amazed me is that the guy who's like playing this game and like reviewing it, talking about it, did not talk about that at all. Did not touch on it. Did not complain about it. He preemptively ran up to the wall. You see his character jump, stop, and then he has to press A. But he did not mention that at all. And I'm just,
I definitely would have been like, "Yo, what is this about?"
See, people, some people
play games different,
man. They look at stuff different. Like
I was just like,
I need to look at all the things, the story, the controls, like. Is it well made? Is there a ton of clipping? Can you you gotta look at all of that stuff, not just
I mean, it's fine that some things don't bother you. Can say, oh, this, or not even don't bother you, just the fact that it's in the game. It could bug you, but it's not the deal breaker.
Yeah, you gotta mention it because someone out there is not going to like that, and it would be good for them to know.
Right.
So
you gotta mention it. Ouch.
I thought that's unfortunate. And then on top of that, there's a different button. So if you want to climb a rock or something like that, it's A. But then I saw when he wanted to climb a ladder, that was X. So now there's a different button, huh?
Cyberpunk.
Oh, right. What is it? When you get in
a vehicle,
getting in a car is what? Triangle?
Getting in a car is school. I haven't played it so long, but it's a different button to get in and get out. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, different button to get in and get out. Right. And this one, it's a different button to climb a rock than it is to climb a ladder. Why? I have no idea.
Throw it away.
That's no idea.
Throw that part of your game away.
If there was a different button for like climb and then one for swim, I might give you a pass. But you're doing
the studio again?
You're doing the same.
THQ Nordic.
No. But like the studio who's like really working on it, the dev team.
Alchemia Interactive.
Alchemia Interactive.
Let me look them up really quick.
Can we get a fluid contextual button for climbing? Can we get that? Can we get a fluid context control for climbing, please?
Yeah,
man. You had me with the For Honor. I'm okay with that. I'm into that. I like
Oh,
that.
I
Especially if I
despise
can level
bar.
it up and get different skills, because this is more of like an RPG type game, right? So I can level
Mhm.
up my skills and get different stances. Okay, then mechanical stuff like that will stop me from playing your game.
Yeah, I mean, bro, honestly, they had me at the battle system. I was
Right,
like,
right.
"Oh, I'm good." Like,
Yeah.
this is too slow. Like, I
Oh, I
am
can't
good.
even. They don't have anything on
I
their
just,
site except,
I told you that
uh,
this is about to be their first game.
Yeah.
They're not a
and
thing
they
yet.
have a boatload of openings.
Oh,
It's
right.
crazy.
That was gonna be my closing. Is that they are
Guitar.
still currently looking.
Oh,
They
that's
have
cool.
16 available. They're recruiting for at least 16 developmental roles, ranging from
Mhm.
level designer all the way through tester. If
Boom.
anybody's looking, if anybody's
It-
looking
So
again.
yeah.
anybody who wants to get in there and work on this game and get us a contextual button would be sick. So anybody
Yeah, I'm
who
looking at
listens
it right
to
now.
us or checks this out,
Look, Pete, a technical animator, that could be
Boom.
one. What a level designer, make the assets more friendly.
apply,
A 3D artist, a
apply,
tester.
apply.
Listen, there's opportunity here. Y'all can make this game better. Because
Yeah.
that whole running up to the rock, halt, tick tock. Oh, hey, no.
Yeah,
No,
yo,
no,
I
no.
saw that. I was
Mm.
like, dude, does not bother you? You just gonna play like that?
We
Like,
need to
you
grab
good?
that man for an interview and play that particular part of the video back and be like, what were you thinking at this very moment? we need to know, because that is not okay with us.
Could be from THQ. You never know.
Let me play. He did have 1 million subscribers, so maybe
You never know. You never know.
I don't know.
Never know.
No,
I'm gonna leave that alone then. That blows my mind.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, shout out to the game does have like its cult following.
Mhm.
People absolutely love the entire series from the first one all the way to the third one.
Right. I got a question about the game, about the battle system. Now,
Yeah.
was it like that in the original run?
Oh, I don't know.
Because if it was like that in the original run, then it's like, all right, we're being true to our core fans. We're being like
Mhm.
we're gonna update the game, but not too much. If it wasn't
So
like
bad,
that,
but
and it was
yeah.
more Morrowind, Fallout, whatever, then
If they went from
like a loose kind of, like any other game, to a, because I mean, the last thing we'll say is it's a playable teaser. Like, what's the release date for the game?
don't have one yet. They're still recruiting people to build the game. There's
right.
nothing.
Mhm. So
This
there's
reminds
still a
me
chance.
of the first time I even heard about a playable teaser was PT, playable teaser, from
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Konami with
Konami.
Hideo and what was it, Guillermo del Toro?
Yep.
It's the game that
The-
spawned the
guy that makes
walking
movies in that
simulator.
game?
Guillermo del Toro? Yeah.
Death
Wow.
Stranding.
Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro, yeah. Man, it would be a bummer if they changed the combat like drastically.
A
Like,
bummer, you
I
said?
understand like making it modern or something like that, but like to
Mhm.
drastically change it to something like this. But if it was already
I get
like
it.
that,
If it was already like that, then whatever.
then I get it.
Yep. They did change it to
Mhm.
this system.
So
It
before
was
it was more
definitely
loose.
more I guess we'll say third person Elder Scrolls. Yeah.
Right.
He's
Exactly.
just got his axe and he's just swinging it around, living his
Right.
best life.
Like any other third person game, like
that's-
like even
yeah.
Fallout, like when you're moving back and forth and you're just
Yep.
Yeah.
using the pickaxe or
And now they
mean,
put it in a locked-in
easy.
system.
This came out in 2001, so it's looking, it's sketchy looking,
Right,
but he's
but
just
it's
swinging.
still-
Whatever. You're still
Right.
free to do whatever.
it's
Free
Portal
movement.
Knights. You know what I mean? It's whatever.
Ooh.
You're loose. You're able to run around and do what you want.
Another game that I want to beat, by the way. But
Yep.
Man. And then they turned it into a lock-on, slow, super slow engagement. And it's not even loose like a Dark Souls, right? It's like a For Honor.
it's tight,
Yeah.
like a For
Completely
Honor.
different. Like every
You-
battle's
you-
a mini game versus
Yeah, you run around and then you got to stop for the battle and you got to tink.
right.
Not a-
So I said,
Right.
My
It's
man
not-
said,
See, like, so like you take a game like
wow.
Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War. It's a
I never
third
played those
person action game with RPG elements, right? And you're
Mhm.
running around and you're doing all this stuff. You can climb. It definitely has contextual climb. And you're running around doing all this stuff. And then when you get into a battle, right, it's literally it's a seamless transition, and then you just start fighting. If you want to lock in on one enemy, you can. But if there's a bunch of other enemies, you just switch and attack.
Yeah,
It
can
sounds
lock
like
out and then go wherever.
it's really slow, like to the point where it's like it doesn't have an option for multiple enemies.
What
Or
game?
if it does, you didn't have to switch like one by one. It doesn't sound like you can just fluidly fight like 3 guys at the same time.
Like so 3 enemies pulled up, but like
But like,
You see what I'm saying? You see what I mean?
that
You
doesn't
see
sound
what
very
I mean?
promising.
the part where 3 enemies pulled up, it was like he had like you supposed to lose that. Like it was a cinematic part
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
I only saw the beginning of that trailer, and like he was fighting like these 3 dogs. He
Three
lost,
dogs, yes.
and
that
then
was
like
the
he
part.
woke up, and then it was like this long Skyrim conversation, like this long Fallout
Ye-
conversation.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Okay,
exactly.
bet,
Yep.
bet.
And then he
Now-
goes and
now
fights
the-
1-on-1. Yeah.
And now the conversational piece, is that pretty much like any other, like a Bethesda game?
When they're having a conversation,
Yeah.
your conversation influences what happens in the rest of the world. The game it's like Elder Scrolls. It's like open. Your conversations and influence what happens in others in the storyline, the quest line.
Okay.
You can go around and live your best life if you choose. So it's a little bit more. It's more linear than Elder Scrolls, but you still have freedom. You have a lot of freedom.
Gotcha.
So
All right.
it's
So there's
classic.
good. It's good
Love
and
it.
bad. Clearly.
It's good for the people that love the series. The battle system, I don't know because it's
Right.
not the OG.
It's also not finished. They could potentially.
They're not going to change that.
They're
don't
probably
think
not going to
so?
change that. Like they can make subtle changes, like a contextual climb button, but they
Yo, my man, this is on that.
Yo, he's not gonna
But
let it go.
like,
You know, when B has his claws on something, he ain't about to let you go.
it's
My
so
man's want his
bad, dude.
contextual
It's so
climb.
bad. Like The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time was like one of the first games to ever do that, and it
Ooh.
changed gaming. Like you walk up to something, and your X button is now that action. Like why you need that? You need that.
Hold on, yo, Key, what you looking at? You looking a
Okay,
bit?
so
found
I'm
something.
looking at. I'm sorry. I'm
You
looking
found
at
something?
Gothic 3 gameplay,
Mm-hmm.
and my man's running around dual wielding swords, and he ran up on him, scissor slice, and he's slicing, boom, boom, and then he switches. It's not that he's. I don't know if you want. I guess you can call it. He switches his stance,
Mm-hmm.
so he slices up, boom, 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 and then he hits like this, and he's like ta 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 ta. He's like
Like
using
rapier?
one
He's
hand.
fencing now.
He's
He's
fencing. I'm sorry,
fencing,
yeah. He's fencing. He's like ta ta, hitting him up with one sword, but it's so fluid. It looks so. I mean, looking good. This video is in 2012, so like, it don't look too hot.
Looking
but,
good
like,
for the time.
Graphics
Yeah, it
might
look-
not look hot, but the fluidity of the gameplay
Yeah.
and everything looking smooth.
Okay.
exactly.
Right.
And
It's looking
this
way
is-
better than the remake.
Dude,
Yeah, this
way
is not what
better.
they're doing.
See,
I can see myself playing a game like that, and this new joint, not so much. Not all like that.
That's unfortunate.
see, like
Yeah.
if Ubisoft came out with like For Honor, the RPG, like run it. You know what I mean? But like for them to go in, acquire this game, and say it's a reimagining, and then change the game,
And turn it inside out. Miss
Well,
it.
it's a reimagining, so this is how they would have done it. They changed it to what they wanted to do.
I thought it was gonna be like
This
story
game-
elements on like updating features, like quality of life stuff. Obviously, Unreal
So
Engine 4
basically-
or 5, so make it look nicer.
Uh-huh.
But man, to literally
So-
gut the battle system, it's crazy.
Gothic, the stiffening is basically what we're calling this right now. Because
Gothic For
You've
Honor,
mentioned-
like hashtag For Honor, bro.
everything but fluidity in
Yeah.
this game versus the other ones where they move.
Oh,
forward.
that's what I feel like. It just lacks major
This-
fluidity.
Right, like you can't go
Yeah.
from like, let me just pick up these items right here into a battle and just turn around and just mash a couple buttons real quick. Like you can't just do that.
Nah, it's not that type of party, bruh.
So basically, the Elder Scrolls and Fallout and games like this have essentially spoiled us in terms of what we should be expecting from games from this point forward.
I mean,
spoiled may be the wrong word, but I think y'all get what I'm
no,
it
I mean,
definitely
our
changes.
expectations have been tempered to a certain point where if you don't have such a simple system, i.e., walking up to a mountain and being able to climb it without waiting for interaction, like that's just something that we expect right now.
And man, I really hope that they don't butcher this series because there's a lot of fans
Because they want to imagine it their way.
Yeah, which is like, yes, put your own spin on it. Fine. Like some people are gonna like some stuff, some people are not. That's fine. But don't like butcher the series. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. This is like, a series that I haven't heard of before, but it's clearly iconic.
Right. Like every Street Fighter, they change things, right? Like there might be new triggers or new stuff or new gimmicks inside the battle system, but like the core, the foundation is still there, right? It's always it's still there. Like it's a quarter circle game, you know, and there's some charge characters. Imagine like Street Fighter 6, everyone is like Mortal Kombat, like back forward square. You know what I mean? Like you literally are changing the foundation of the game, like its core and what has its fans. That's kind of wild.
Because that's how you want it. Well, I was playing MK11 and I just felt like this is how I would imagine Street Fighter with it.
Like Gothic 4, just to let you know, is also the same battle system. This is just
but this is the one we don't talk about.
I'm sorry. The most recent Gothic has the same.
Right. Sorry to the Gothic community. We're just making a point.
Listen, yeah, we're just making a point.
But yeah, so I mean, this is the only Gothic that's gonna have this new system. This is completely new to the series. So I'm interested to see how Gothic fans feel about it.
Yeah. Yikes.
It's sounding rather unfortunate right now.
To me, it is. To me, I mean, the guy I was watching play, and he was all about it. He liked it. He loves the For Honor type style, so he likes it.
Yeah.
For me personally, I don't like it. But also, I don't like I have to wait for a prompt to press A. I don't like that I have to press a different button.
I don't like that. I never did like For Honor, so that's already 2 strikes for me.
Yeah. So for me personally, not really a fan.
Yeah, see, I'm cool with the For Honor stuff. Just hopefully they can fix all that other crap and make the game like quality. Cause like that stuff for me will stop me from playing your game.
Definitely. I'm about to see if I have any of the Gothic on Steam. You know, my library is deep.
Library is quite extensive.
Your library is so deep, you don't even know what games you have anymore.
I have the Gothic playable teaser from 2013. Wow.
13?
Yeah.
Dude, stop. You need to stop.
What?
You have a problem. You have a problem.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yo, Reese will see these Humble Bundle deals, and there'll be like one game in there that he really wants, and the rest of the stuff he'd be like, hey, yo, run it. Been buying the whole thing.
Whatever. I just renewed like a couple days ago, actually.
Yeah.
The first step is admitting that you have the problem.
Oh, I know. I tell you this all the time.
So, I don't have a problem.
Man, so stop.
I can stop eating CTC whenever I want. You leave me alone.
Here we go.
I'm not doing this right now.
All right.
But yeah, so this isn't sounding like a buy right now.
For me, no. I'm good.
Yeah. This is I will at least watch the game to see if they change those types of things, because I'm cool trying the new concept. I want to see if you can make an RPG, RPA styled For Honor. I want to see if it'll work. I'm cool with that, but man, there's gonna be a lot of upset Gothic fans. Because I'm new to the series. So like, for me, this is the only way I know it. But now looking back, there's gonna be some upset people.
I'm new to the series and I have an attitude. Like, what are you doing to this series? Like, why? Imagine it differently. That's all.
I just seen it and I was like, nope, capital nope, nope.
Capital nope.
Capital nope.
Capital nope. Another thing that it could be nitpicky to some, but it was very annoying for me. The character literally talked about everything that like happened. Like, I mean, he narrated every single thought that he had, and I just found it it was annoying. Like it was similar to me being like, oh, there's a water bottle on my desk. I'm thirsty right now. I'm gonna pull the cap off of this water bottle and I'm gonna take a sip. That was really cold water. It was really good. I really like that. I'm gonna put this water bottle back on the desk.
It was like, that deep.
Narrated much.
Because like
he narrated so much.
Because like
really,
I'm currently playing Call of the Sea loosely, and it's one of those games like there's no battle system. It's just a story game and a bunch of puzzles. So it's like, you know, she talks to herself, but not at that type of clip. That's crazy.
My man said,
I mean,
I am thirsty right now. I'm gonna pick up this bottle. I'm gonna spin off the cap.
Right.
Like, yo,
see what you're
what?
saying?
That's
It's a
too
different
much.
kind of thing. It's like you can narrate a little bit, especially when story things happen. But like,
in your story game.
Let me be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all of that you just said, I could have been like, I was thirsty and drank the water and quench my thirst. Moving on.
Like he narrated, it was more like I can see you. You know what I mean? Like I don't need you to tell me what you're doing.
Right. Because like in story games, they usually give you a thought that's like insight to how they're feeling or something, like not just the task. Like not just I am swimming right now. Like that's not. No one. Yeah. We know that. We know.
Man. Yeah. Any case, that's Gothic 1 remake. No release date yet. Made by a entirely new company, built specifically to make RPGs and ARPGs and action adventure games and the like that. And this will be their very first title.
Right now, I don't trust y'all.
They got 16 openings, so
yeah, 16 openings. Y'all are on the cusp of potentially butchering a well-known series. I don't trust y'all right now. I hope one of those 16 openings has someone with the insight to steer you from your wrongs. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wow.
Okay. I'm sorry not to cut you off, but I literally just read a comment in the video, and it says the extreme amount of narration made me actually realize how much restraint Naughty Dog showed with Uncharted.
And you know how much Nathan Drake talks.
Family, dude. I'm playing the games, my man. Yaps. I mean, it's not to a ridiculous point where I feel overwhelmed like he did with the whole water bottle thing, but
because it's quips, it's wit.
Yeah, they're like quips, and
like he's trying to.
He tells the necessary points and probably a little flourish,
right?
Because it's a movie video game,
right?
Oh man, these comments are just. What if we remade Gothic and turned the main character into Nathan Drake, dude? Like, yeah, he narrates a lot.
He does narrate a lot, but it's like useful narration.
Yeah,
make sure
it's game. It's abundant. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Abundance.
It's abundantly clear that there's an abundance of narration in Gothic Remake.
Sorry, carry on. I was
gonna
good intel.
My work.
Hit y'all with a premise real quick. We like premises in video games.
Yes.
So you're adrift in space, and your ship faces a terrifying crisis. Some of its members are no longer human and plan to take over the vessel for nefarious purposes. To succeed, these beings must kill the other crew members one by one and deceive the others into thinking that the innocent are the enemy. What game does come to mind when you think about that?
I mean, just Among Us.
Just Among Us. There are no other games that you can.
Bro, I've only ever played like those like social. What are they called? Social something games.
I've barely played Among Us.
They have a
the
term.
One time I played,
they do have a term,
black, and nobody listened to me.
Wait, say it again. Say it again.
Black.
Oh,
the one time I played, I was like, "Yo, it's black. Black is acting mad suspect." I'm like, "Yo, it's black. I don't know how to vote, but it's black. Vote black."
No,
nobody voted black. Black killed me.
And let me guess.
I was like, "I'm done with this game."
And let me
guess. Social.
You were screaming black, and they threw you off.
And they threw you off. And killed them all.
I've been there,
bro.
So yeah, it's called. The term is social deduction.
Social deduction games. Yeah, they're great.
The originator is a game called Mafia, also known as Werewolf, created by Dmitry Davidoff in 1986.
Oh wow!
So this idea isn't anything new,
right?
But I find it funny that only recently has this genre come to light in such a way. Like y'all said, Among Us, very first game that came to mind. That was one of the first games. It's released in June of 2018. However, the premise that I laid out was not for Among Us, but for a game called Gnosia.
Okay.
Wouldn't be surprised if you hadn't heard of it. It was a JP/Vita only release in June of 2019.
Yeah.
Now keep that date in mind. A Vita release in June of 2019.
Yeah,
the
crazy.
Vita was discontinued in March of 2019.
2019?
19.
The Vita?
The Vita has been discontinued for 2 years now.
The Vita came out in 19?
No, the Vita was discontinued in 19.
Oh, okay.
And this game came out a few months after the discontinuation.
Okay. Whoa. A game came out for the Vita 2 months after it was discontinued?
I mean, people still got it, right?
3 months, yeah.
Somebody got it.
Wow.
There's still a number of people out there. And I do find myself stopping myself every now and then, be like, maybe I should get it, because I had a Vita. I had it
one
on
too.
release.
I sold it.
I had one too.
And none of us know where ours are. That's saying a lot.
It had to go.
So
nothing for my life. It had to go.
To complete the premise, because I left out rather obvious details, to succeed, these beings, the Gnosia, which is actually a defining term, which I'll get into in a minute because it kind of plays into the story. Again, take over the crew one by one, deceive them into thinking the innocent are the enemy, and they're trying to take this ship in Among Us style to their home planet to sacrifice the inhabitants to their sinister overlord.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, this game is a little more darker than Among Us. There isn't really a story in that. You just dropped in and then you're like, okay, let's figure out who the bad guy is. Gnosia actually has a story in regards to this.
Now, is this multiplayer?
I was just thinking the same thing.
I'll get to that, but no, this is single player. Gnosia, which actually released a few years back in 2019, like I said, it takes Among Us's concept and puts a spin on it. So they utilize a visual novel-like presentation with RPG-like mechanics, a wide cast of members, and a multi-layered story. So those are additional attributes that aren't present in Among Us, obviously.
Right.
Gnosia presents you with a very different take on the social deduction game that, despite some stumbles along the way, which I'll touch on, it succeeds admirably. Social deduction games like Among Us are exciting because of the human aspect to the game. So it's like you're sitting at a poker table and you're trying to see who's bluffing or whatnot.
Exactly.
So you got to find signs of like who's lying, who's being deceitful, who's trying to conceal themselves. How do you scrutinize and things like that? You got to keep all of these instances in mind. But instead of in Among Us where you're playing against 9 others, it's you and one other crew member on the ship versus this entire crew. So when you turn on this game, you're met by a character named Setsu. He's one of the crew members who briefs you on what's going on. It is only you and him who know what's going on as far as the Gnosia invasion and what exactly they're trying to do. Everyone on the ship is trapped in a horrifying time loop. This is why I was kind of playing around with the whole the time thing in the beginning of the clip.
Oh, the time dimensional?
Yeah, the time dimensional. They're stuck in the time loop where the crew have been affected. You can't determine this infection visually, obviously, just like you can in Among Us. You gotta guesstimate. So each day, the crew votes on someone to send into cold sleep until all the Gnosia are eliminated, which varies in Among Us, where they just boot you off the ship.
Right.
And sometimes completely unexpected things happen. So there are roles in this game. Everybody has roles, like one's doctor, engineer, things like that. And they have different abilities which should assist you in trying to determine who is and who isn't on the enemy side. So you get 5 rounds of arguing, and all the crew members, yourself included, use varied debate tactics to draw and deflect criticism to and from certain crew members. Okay. You need to know when to speak up, when to let others talk, when to be a loudmouth, when to vote. And it gets a little deeper than Among Us, where instead of you just following people around and seeing what they're doing, you got to keep all these things in mind, like how characters interact with one another, how they interact with you, things like that. You have to keep all these things in mind. and it's on a loop system. So in Among Us, you just keep going until whoever wins. This is on a loop system. So the day happens, and then it's nighttime, and that's when the Gnosia attack the crew members. When the day begins, it's that same day over. So you're reliving a same day over and over. But the previous effects from the last day are still in place. So if you like, let's just say among us three, we ice Key because we think he's the one. So the day loops again, but Key's on ice, so he's not a candidate anymore.
Right.
And I mentioned that there are RPG aspects to this. So as you level up to determine like who's what, you do or you don't get experience.
Hold on.
I
got a question about the time loop.
Yep.
So putting a putting a crew member in cryo stops them from being affected by the time loop?
No, what you're trying to do is stop the infected member from going on their killing spree. So just like in Among Us, you could put an innocent person on ice. They're not able to assist you anymore. And whatever role they are, like say the doctor's able to determine if you're like infected with Gnosia, which isn't necessarily an indicator that you are the one. But now if you ice that doctor thinking that he's the one, you no longer have a verifiable method of determining who is affected or not.
No. I understand the aspect of having a crew member and then you put them on ice, you lose their skills or their abilities or things of that nature. What I'm saying is in terms of like the story, it sounds like a giant like hole. Like everyone's affected by the time loop. So you keep living the same day. But like if you put someone on ice at the end of the day, wouldn't the time loop
when the time loop like undo it?
Ice?
Yeah, that's the same thing I said, but there wasn't really. So because
all right,
it seems very like what's the word, redundant, oxymoronic kind of, because you're putting them on ice to try to reduce the threat, yet we're in a time loop. So what it, like you said, when everything you do just get undone because of the loop,
right?
It's video game logic BS that kind of gets around that.
But it's bad video game logic because
it is centered
bad. Around the time loop.
Around time, yes. So you would think that, like we were talking about Majora's Mask just last week.
Right, everything resets.
You do the time loop, everything resets. You lose items, things like that. So, yeah, there are some missteps as you see, the pros and cons. So with the RPG elements, obviously you increase your stats based on your performance from different loops. If you put your points in intuition, sometimes it'll set off like a alarm in your head to let you know that someone's lying to you. If you put points in charm, that can kind of help you deflect blame because your charisma is up there. You can like talk your way out of situation and things like that. And increasing stats ends up giving you more options in the debate. So kind of like Project Triangle strategy. I don't know if you were watching me when I was playing that part. There's kind of this similar element too, where you have to cast a vote, and depending on what skills you have options to be like, oh yeah, we want to do it this way, that way. Can I persuade you to do it my way? Things like that. You get more options as you level up. So you can turn suspicion back onto a person accusing you, or you can even plead your innocence after you've been voted. So there were a number of differences versus Among Us.
Question. Are you ever the villain?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
So, and this might actually point out when
villain? This game confuses me.
Well, in Among Us, you can be
the
alien too.
But this follows a certain storyline, doesn't it?
Yeah,
right.
And
so how can
initially, you can either be the guardian angel or you could be the Gnosia. Initially, you start as the guardian angel, which gives you the ability to protect one party member or crew member, I'll say. But then it's an unlockable essentially. As you continue to do the loops and you unlock all the other available options, that becomes one of them.
Okay.
So just so you can experience the game from the other side, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So while this social deduction gameplay loop is great, what makes it unique and different from Among Us is the character development in these ever repeating cycles. So when you meet certain conditions, like saving a particular crew member, making sure that they stay alive long enough, icing particular members, you'll unlock events because again, it is a visual novel. You'll unlock events that'll give you more information about particular characters, so that in later loops you have a better idea of how they act, and then you can make more informed decisions. And you can learn more about the characters, like why a particular character. One of them has a full body tattoo. But I didn't read too much into like why that may be an important step, but that could play into it.
Right. Now, it's sounding to me like this is kind of more of a social deduction version of a Heavy Rain or Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds more like that than it does anything like
Than it does Among Us. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, just take
Because-
away the whole free aspect from Heavy Rain and such like that, and
right,
turn it to a book.
because everyone has scripted responses.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't matter however deep you go, right? Each character is that character. There'll always be that character, or do they change personalities?
No, you'll be that character.
You know what it
Right.
sounds like to me?
What's up?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a game that I've never played and I have no idea how it plays, but this is what I imagine it plays like.
Okay.
Phoenix Wright. Like, I imagine this is like Phoenix Wright, but I have no idea how Phoenix Wright even plays. But
the whole courtroom aspect and proving
You
guilt
have
and
to-
innocence and things like that.
proving guilt and innocence and things
Right.
like that. This is what it reminds me of.
Right,
Because
yeah,
it's
like a
single
game
player.
like that. Exactly.
Yeah, it's
That makes
single
sense
player.
too.
Yeah,
And like you said, Reese, like not the roaming around exploring aspects of Heavy Rain in Detroit, but the
Mhm.
conversational pieces where you
Yeah, the
literally
conversation.
you got to
Yep.
pay attention to each character's
Yep.
personality and the way they react to certain things that can then make you have more informed
More informed
decisions.
decisions.
Right. So this is more like that than it is a social deduction game, because you're not dealing. It's not social.
Yeah, it's because it's single player. It's
Right,
not
like-
multiplayer social, let's say, but it is social in the aspect of you in the crew.
Right.
I
Within the
suppose.
game. So it's right. So it's social
Quasi
by
social. Let's
it's
just say
social
that.
by the literary term. Like, it's literally a
Yes.
social game because they're just talking.
Yes, and
And
you're just
with the
reading. It's a
crewmates,
graphic
but
novel.
It's
so
not
yeah.
social
Yeah, I
in
get what you're
terms
saying.
of other humans that you can interact with. Okay.
Now the loop system, obviously one of the main pillar of the game, is also one of its bigger problems. Like I said, there are key events that you could trigger. In order to trigger some of them, like again, one of the crew members staying alive for several days must be met. And also a person that you're trying to rescue could end up getting killed off very first day. And having to try to meet these conditions over and over in the loop, that is what can end up driving a lot of people away from the game. Because I kept reading and it's like, oh, you might end up doing hundreds of loops. So that was one of the primary deterrents. But however, they have kind of like how in Bravely Default 2, they have what's called the travel log, like the very top option that nobody goes to, where it has like hidden information, things like that in regards to the game that you should be paying attention to. And the tutorials and all that, they have something like that in the game. So your trial and error isn't exactly wasted. Like, it's kept note of, but you still have to deal with the loops in order to get the full experience of the story.
Got you.
So basically put the pros and cons. The good, it's an intriguing story that slowly reveals its truth, keeping you attempting to keeping you interested in coming back for more. A crew of offbeat, likable, and dislikable weirdos to add to the atmosphere. New skills that you and others learn. Oh yeah, that's another thing. The abilities that you gain, so like additional confidence, charm, intuition, all that stuff, the AI can gain that also. So whatever abilities you can use to try to like prove yourself innocence or to prove someone else guilty, the CB can do that to you also. So it's kind of like FF8 where everybody levels up together.
Okay.
The bad that was noted was not a lot of variety in character dialogue during discussions. This is stamped on more to the fact that you have to do the loops over and over. So you are going to be seeing the same dialogue over and over. And again, arbitrary AI decisions that can mess up conditions needed to trigger story events, requiring even more playthroughs.
Bro, your whole game is talking to people. How do you not have more
Entire
than
game.
like two or three chat lines? Like, if I'm going to be playing the same day over and over and over and over, there needs to be more options for conversation. Like, even if you change the words, but give the same like reaction just with different words at least. So I don't hear like every time I go to the doctor, it's like the same words all of the time. That sounds horrendous.
Yeah. So it's crazy though, because this game, its initial Vita release, again, on a dead system, it got 10s, like 9.5s, 10s. Right. And
I'm interested. Don't get it wrong. I like these type of games.
And they hopped over to the Switch on the 4th of this month, actually, March 4th. So the game's barely 2 weeks old.
So now it's out. Gotcha.
Yeah, they hopped over at a good time because Among Us actually swapped over to the Switch, as we all know. But it's a terrible experience.
Among Us on the Switch is a bad experience?
Among Us on the experience is a very bad experience.
Why is that?
How do you chat?
So how do you chat? The keyboard pops up and takes over the entire screen. So while you're typing your message, you cannot see what's being said.
What?
So you might type late information, you might type inaccurate information, get you bopped up, things like that. Some of the tasks are like there's a task where there's 4 wires on each side and you connect them. On the touchscreen, makes perfect sense. You just drag it and you're done. If your Switch is docked, you got to use your Joy-Con to like guide the thing, and it's going so slow like this. By that time, you'll get killed by the imposter and things like that. It's not a good experience.
Bro.
So Gnosia's like, well, not Gnosia, obviously. Petit Depotto, the name of the development studio that made this game, was like, well, our games are kind of similar and ours is better, so let's just push it on there. And there it goes.
Nintendo Switch just the potential to be the greatest console ever, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
I wouldn't call it a Switch fault because it's a mobile game, and the Switch is more capable than some mobiles out there. But right now, it's just a poor experience. Gnosia's on there.
That is a bad experience.
Out since the 4th of March. And if you want to give a different social deduction game a try, you can give this a look here. I might get it myself when it gets on sale, just to give it a try. I might stream it sometime, see what it's about. Because I'm interested in it like you are, but there are a number of points I'd be like, y'all could have did better.
Right.
Like you said, the lack of dialogue and things like that.
Yeah, because now you're going to...
Let me know when that's on Game Pass.
Right, because now you're going to have to go up and like when you get to like, let's say you're really invested in the game and now you're remembering the responses and
the mannerisms and all that stuff,
the characters and things of that nature, and then you go to the next one and you're like, okay, I know what the doctor's gonna say, and you're just speeding through it. You're just trying to skip it so you can just get on to the next thing.
Yeah. But yeah, that is Gnosia, the time dimensional game released on March 4th for the Switch. If you have a Vita, and it's I don't remember if Vita's a region locked. If not, it's available for Vita also. If you're feeling yourself, give it a try and let me know what you think.
Wow, Gnosia. So we got 2 interesting things, right? Gothic. We got 2 interesting games. Like, I guess they're positive notes, right? Those are both positives. They're new games.
They both could use a little work,
but
they seem to be a good game.
They both could use work, right? Well, we got a game that's been out and it's been coming out continually for years. And this is some negative stuff. This is some controversy. We got some controversy coming
we always got to have yin and yang in here. So
yeah, we got some drama. So EA, our wonderful people over at EA, they make a very successful sports game called FIFA. You guys have all heard of it. You guys all know it. Even if you don't play sports games, even if you've never touched a sports game, you've heard of FIFA. And it's a $1 billion game. This game sells millions of copies every year. It's released, and then its most important feature, its most important mode, is FIFA Ultimate Team, or FUT, as most people call it. That's what I'm going to call it for the most part going forward. So back in 2009, FIFA Ultimate Team was introduced, and it's a system, it's a game mode where you acquire player cards. So you acquire player
Wait.
cards.
Mhm.
So you
Foot's
can
been out since 09?
since
I thought
09.
it was
That was
younger
the
than
first
that.
time. That was its introduction. It's
Okay.
FIFA 09. And you would gather player cards, you build your squads, and you go play story mode and things of that nature.
Mhm.
Now, fast forward, this mode, this ultimate team, is in every sports game that EA puts out, and other companies try to mimic it. It's in Madden, it's in NHL, it's pretty much in
Oh,
everything they do.
wait.
Um,
FIFA was the first to do it, the card game thing.
I don't think they were the first ones, but the first FIFA to have it was
It was
2009.
09. Okay.
Oh, okay,
The
okay.
first FIFA, so EA introduced it in their games in 2009. So fast forward to now, we have FIFA 21. This thing is a money making machine. This thing,
Literally.
I play it. I don't put money in it, but I play it. I love it. It's a super cool mode. So now it's at the point where people, it's a culture, like, and it's a part of esports. So not only is it huge culture in gaming, it's also a part of an esport. It's super competitive. People build their decks, they build their squads, and
Oh.
they go to battle online. And it's the most celebrated mode in the game.
Can somebody do me a favor?
Yeah.
Was
Can
good.
one of you guys literally force me to play the next 2K so I can play that card mode?
Dude,
I want to play the card mode so bad. I love it.
is
Just get FIFA.
fire. It's
Well, I don't know.
fire.
I don't play FIFA.
Fam, I don't either. You've seen me play. I'm not good at it, but I still have fun.
FIFA 21, I think it's available somewhere for free. I mean, 2K21.
2K's
free
on Game
somewhere.
Pass.
2K's on Game Pass.
Boom, there you
The
go.
thing is, I'm terrible at 2K, but I really want to play that card game.
Get good, bro.
Now that's what I'm saying.
Gotta
Get
get good.
FIFA and be terrible with me. We can be terrible together and having fun.
Like I really would. I love the concept of
Bro.
getting packs. I won't say buying because not
Yep.
everybody buys. Getting packs,
Mhm.
like pulling, like you just
Mhm.
that anxiety or that rush you get from pulling a dope card or just like
Mhm.
opening the pack in general.
Yep.
And then building your team from the packs and all. I just love the idea, and I really, really want to do it.
Bro,
Really,
it
really want
is,
to do it.
FIFA.
dude. It literally. So like we talk about this all the time. Like we were very big into trading card games, and this fixes that. This is a solve for that trading card game fiend that is locked inside of me somewhere. This does that because the cards all have different values based on their stats, like speed and power, accuracy, and then based on their club and their nationality, like their national team, is you can create chemistry lines between players to make your team even better. So there's a lot of different combinations and things you can do in the game. And I posted a link to the esports in the chat just to really show how big this is. The esports is on the official FIFA, like FIFA, the real sport. It's literally on their actual website. Like this is not a joke. Like FIFA esports is massive. So
I can imagine.
yeah. So what we're coming into right now is that, like he was saying, the excitement you get for packs. So as you play Ultimate Team, you can grind for in-game currency for these coins.
Yep.
And you can also spend real grown-up money to also acquire these coins.
Grown-up
You
money.
can spend grown-up human money to acquire
Spin
these
them green,
coins.
spin them greenbacks.
Right. You can spin your currency to buy currency and then turn that and buy packs, or you can go onto the trade market and buy the cards individually based on other players and what they have out there. So there are some cards that are untradeable. Usually they're special cards, special moment cards, special icon cards. There's so many different types of cards. But some of the most super rare cards in the game, they're like moments and icons and things of that nature, like the biggest names with their highest overall. And usually the chances to get these cards are so slim. So they usually tell you the percentage that you'll get for each card, like the chance. These types of cards are less than 1%, so they don't even tell you. That's how rare they are. They're that rare. Like, they don't even tell you. Like, if it's less than 1%, they don't even tell you. So, with that being said, there's been a plethora of reports and screenshots and tweets coming out about an alleged employee or hacker who's posing as an employee who is selling illegal black market cards in game, like items in game, for exuberant amounts of money.
We're talking exuberance.
Yes. And it is insane the amount of money that is being transferred or changing hands. EA has released an official statement, and they're saying that they have confirmed that an EA account is being used. They haven't said whether or not it's an employee or someone posing as an employee or employees multiple. So they are admitting that it is a problem, and now they are saying that they're aware of it now. So some people feel that they've been aware of it and just haven't done anything. No one can confirm that. No one can deny that. But what they did come out and say is that there are cards, there are items in FIFA Ultimate Team that they give out to players. So let's say you're Cristiano Ronaldo and you're like, I'm gonna do a stream or whatever. They will gift that person a secret overall 99 card just for like a promo and things of that nature. And it's locked on that account. Some of those cards are making their way out into people's hands, into the general public's hands. So FIFA is now pulling, if you have a discretionary item in your account, it will be pulled and you can't use it. Doesn't matter how much you spent on it. Doesn't matter if you spent $3,000 on the card, you can't use it. They're pulling all that stuff out. The community's outraged. The community is outraged.
I mean, hell.
Yeah. So the community is beyond outraged.
Yo, that leaves me questions.
Yeah, we do. We're gonna open this thing all the way up. Just let me get through.
If they are giving players, they're giving sports players packs that hold certain cards. That tells me the entire system is fixed.
Right. So what they said in that same breath was that they never give that stuff to like esports players. They never do that. Well, we don't do that. But like if you're a professional player, or let's say you're doing something for them, or you're doing a promo or something, they will give certain discretionary cards out.
Yeah.
To the public.
To be honest, I don't care what you say, because colleges or people that try to recruit different players, these young that can't get money, they never pay their people, but they get incentives.
Exactly.
Under the table incentives all the time. So like you can say what you do or you don't do.
I'm just giving the official statement.
Yeah.
No, I was just giving the official statement, but go ahead.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Say what you do or don't do, but what you actually do or don't do can be completely different. The fact that you already let it known that is a possibility, that you can manipulate packs and cards or whatever to give it to other people.
Your whole system is bunk.
Oh, your whole system becomes null and void to me. Everything, it just becomes a fluke to me.
Yep.
I don't like that idea at all.
Yep.
Not at all.
So like so let's say you make it and you become a pro player on the club and like you play FIFA, they'll gift you a 99 overall or whatever of your character, like your person, and they'll gift it to you, and that's it. But like
so wait. They give me the card, just the card.
Just the card.
Not a pack.
Not a pack. Just the card.
Like
just the individual card to your account. And it's untradeable. You can't trade it. You can't do anything with it.
Okay, all right. That's completely different. My bad.
To your account. Right.
I misinterpreted. Okay.
And now, right. So now there's these other cards that I was talking about, the ones that are less than 1%, the super Cristiano moment, the super Messi moment. These cards, the the 97 Conte, like the special cards that cost
Oh,
hundreds of thousands of coins.
97
These
Conte?
cards,
Boy,
these
that's like
cards are
a couple
making it
grand.
into people's hands for money. So
Couple grand.
I posted a link in the chat as well of some tweets that went out and some screenshots of people allegedly talking to the people who run this black market,
Family.
charging them 1,700 euros for XYZ.
Yo, my man's has a whole 96 plus team.
Yep. And multiples of them. So don't forget. So you can also then, like some of them are still tradable. So they can then put them on the market and sell it for an exuberant amount of coins. And that's how people get crazy on this game.
Now, and now look at this. Sorry to keep cutting you off, because I'm just reading the tweets now. One of them says, "Give me his information. I'm willing to pay $3,000 for 3 icon moments. I have spent thousands and never even came close." He spent thousands legit.
Exactly.
And never even close to packing one.
That's where I was getting to my final point, is the outrage.
Fam.
People love this sport and this game and this mode. You can go on your Twitter, you can go on YouTube and watch countless videos of people opening packs and getting excited. And literally, like, I just watched a video of someone open a pack. It was like a younger kid, and he pulled Cristiano and he cried, like just pure exuberance and like excitement to then go put that card in his deck and then go play online with his card that he just pulled. Now, some people, like you just said, Reese, spend thousands of dollars and never get one of those iconic moment cards. Never get it. They could go thousands of dollars and never pull it. And what's happening here is people are going behind the scenes and buying these cards, and it undermines the entire integrity of the game and its competitive
family.
The entire game. People are so upset.
Absolutely.
People are so upset. Like,
and it reminds me,
this is cheating. I don't care what anyone says. It's cheating.
No, yeah, this is 100%. This reminds me of that article of someone, I forget who it was, and I keep bringing this up to you. They spend $10,000, $11,000, and that kind of what started the argument of like, we need to find a way to stop people. It sounds ironic. We need to find a way to stop people from spending all this money in the event that someone comes around and says, "You're making it too easy to spend money on this game." And now we have this argument. It was like, "Yo, I'm spending money on this game, and I'm not getting what these cheaters have gotten in matter of minutes."
Right. Exactly. And like the final point is that so not only is it cheating, but the company is like EA is already on thin ice because, you know, a lot of states they feel that it's gambling almost, right?
It's akin to gambling. Yep.
Right. That's how they feel.
I don't like that argument.
And they're already in lawsuits with California and a couple other places about that. So they're in a big pickle with this thing right now. And they're literally being hit on it from all sides. So they have the black market thing going on. They have lawsuits about gambling. They are they're in trouble right now when it comes to their rock, their $1 billion rock. This game is also banned in multiple countries because of the gambling aspect. And how they view it as gambling is that you're putting money into a machine that doesn't guarantee a result back. So, like, if you go up to a slot machine and you put money in it, it's not guaranteeing that you're going to win anything. It's all percentage based, and they're feeding on that percentage base, on that hype, on that high of putting more money in to get something out. And a lot of states agree with that, and they're taking Activision Blizzard to court, and they're taking EA to court for that reason. Boom. Wow. EA Gate is crazy. Yo, it is crazy.
EA Gate's a little deeper than I thought it was.
Yo, it's insane.
I'm wondering, is it only within, so they're calling it EA Gate. So is it just FIFA that this is happening, or is this all the games that under their
I think this is just the latest iteration of it that's come to light.
Right. So it's EA Gate. So they're going to take a look at all of them. So Madden, NHL, and make sure that we can probably guess that it's happening. We know it's happening. But they're gonna take a look at everything. It's just that FIFA is the biggest. It's the biggest.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest games in the world. So
Easily.
huh?
I said easily.
Yeah, I mean, easily. It's the most celebrated sport. It's one of the most celebrated sports across the entire planet.
Yo,
So,
peep this. Let me ask y'all a question, right?
Yeah.
Let me answer you a question.
We all grew up playing TCGs.
yep.
Yep.
Have you ever bought a single off of somebody
So, yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
versus spending money buying a pack?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How come this is different?
Because it's not illegal within the fines of the game. The only way to get these is to buy packs. It's the only way to get them. And then when you buy packs, then you can put those cards on the transfer market. But what you can't do is you can't go to Konami and say, "Yo, I want this Blue Eyes for $50." You can't do that.
You can't do that either, though.
You said what now?
You can't do that with Yu-Gi-Oh either. Although, I mean, there's
Right.
certain stores you can go to buy singles.
Right,
Is that
like-
what you mean?
Right. Like you can't go to Konami and say, "Yo, go print me this card. I want this card." You can't do that. Here,
Which
what's
is essentially
happening is
happening here.
Wait,
yeah.
wait,
right.
wait. You lost me a little bit.
So
So
I can't
go
go
ahead,
to
B.
Konami and pay them $200 to print me 3 Mirror Forces. Can't do that. But
Oh,
what's
that's
happening?
what's happening?
But what's happening in this is these guys, they have an ink or connect or they are at EA and they're just giving out 98 to
generating
whoever they
these.
They're
feel like.
materializing them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they're handing them out. They're selling.
See,
them.
I keep on confusing it. I keep on thinking they're like NFTs, which are non-fungible.
Nah,
No.
that's
I
a
keep on
different
thinking there's
market.
a
That's a
set
different
limited
thing.
amount of them. There's not.
No.
It's unlimited.
They're just
right?
stupid rare.
Right.
Yeah, it's unlimited but stupid rare.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Right. So
I'm
it's
getting it.
basically like a secret rare, right? So let's say like there's a secret rare magic card that it's slim. So people who have it, they put it on the transfer market, aka put it in their binder, and they charge like $80 for it because it's a hot card.
Yeah.
What these dudes are doing is like, well, we are Konami. We can just make them and sell them for
The material-
$1,700.
Right.
And
Right.
literally, like you see players like people online who have 4 and 5 of cards that are less than 1% to get. It doesn't.
Yeah,
make sense.
come on now. That's fishy as hell.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And
Gotcha.
and now you're able to put one in your deck. You're able to keep one in the side, and you can put 2 on the transfer market. And literally, you've snaked the whole system because now you have so much currency. You can just keep buying packs now, going crazy.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that's ruining the whole situation.
it messes the whole game up. It's the whole game.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. That sucks. That really sucks, man.
So now you knowing that, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, no, it sucks. That really sucks.
Mhm.
Like I don't like cheating. I don't.
Yeah,
I have
nope.
no respect, no love, nothing in my heart for cheating. I do not respect cheating in any way, shape, or form, unless you already beat GTA. You want to just go have some
Right,
fun and go act
exactly.
silly.
Yeah, I'm
And a
the
competitive-
same way.
Yep.
In a competitive field, there is no
Nope.
love space in
Nope.
my heart for cheating whatsoever under
None.
any circumstances
None.
at all.
In a
You a
competitive
bum.
space, trash behavior,
Yeah, you a
ultimate
bum.
trash.
What are you doing? Go home
Ultimate
and play your single player mode. Get out of here.
Ultimate
Absolutely
trash.
trash.
But yeah, that's
Yeah,
enough. I didn't think it was that deep. And
bro, it's bad.
do you think that they really don't know who or what it is, or they just don't want to let us know? Because if it is found out that it actually is a inside EA employee, that it would just damage them that much further.
Well, I don't know, man. They're saying that they are confirming. All they're saying is they confirm that the account used is an EA account. Whether it was hacked or an employee, the investigation has begun. And the confirmation of that was like 8 hours ago. Like
I believe
them saying, confirm this is one of our accounts.
Okay.
they're gonna have to tell us who or what eventually, regardless. Like
absolutely.
they're gonna say, okay, it was somebody within. Okay, no, it was this. It was, random Flame Slayer 5000. Like they're gonna have to tell us.
Something.
They're gonna
think they did.
Huh?
I don't think so.
No, they have, bro. They're gonna have
I think they're for sure gonna have to tell us. They gotta save face, man. Because if it's random save Flame Slayer 5000, we can say, okay, we banned random Slayer 5000's account. If it was somebody within the company, they can tell us, yo, we completely got rid of them, whatever the case may be, blocked all. They got to save face somehow. They have to come out on top some way, some form.
So what I'm saying is, they could say whatever, but that might not be whatever happened. Like what you said earlier. That's
we'll
what
never know.
Yes, they do have to say something in order to say it. Yes, they do. But as to whether that's the truth or not, that's what we won't know.
That's up to your belief, your interpretation. If you want to believe them or not, that's up to you. But regardless, they
have to say something.
Have to come out and say something. They can't just sweep this under the rug. It's FIFA. It's FIFA. Too big.
It's too much power. Literally, this game has too much power. It's too big. It's too, especially for the company. It's too much of their rock, their moneymaker. I didn't say that this is a multi-million-dollar thing. This is a billion-dollar thing. Billion. The game comes out. They sell millions of copies of a $60, $70 game. That's already money in the bank. Then you go in the game and you spend an exuberant amount of money on in-game currency and packs. It's crazy.
How much does FIFA proper get from this? I'm wondering.
Think about this, right? Think about this.
Okay.
Epic Fortnite is a free game, and how much ridiculous amount of money they make off of Fortnite, and that's free. Right. And they just bought a mall to make into their office.
Here we go. No, I was just wondering how much does FIFA get from this?
They went half with the mayor to buy a town. So like
facts. Also facts.
Like, imagine FIFA, you're paying for FIFA and then you're buying thousands of dollars worth of packs and not even to pull what you want. So you're spending even more thousands trying to pull what you want.
Exactly. Because in Fortnite, there's the battle pass, and then they have other stuff that you can just buy individually.
Skins.
You know what you're buying. You know what you're getting. This is packs, bro. It's packs.
How much is FIFA proper getting from this? I'm just wondering because I've been like, now that I've been playing a little bit more, I've been hearing a bit more. It's a little more relevant to me now. And me hearing $135 million contracts, and then that's just one person. Yeah. And there's probably like 10, 20 people who are in that zone.
The game itself?
Right. No, like in FIFA. He's saying like the confederation, like the organization of FIFA. That's the actual organization. Yeah. How much do they make?
How much are they getting
from EA based on
from
the
games?
Yeah.
I mean, they
have to be able to offset those.
Before the games was giving the money like that, right? Like they've been being able to do this. I feel like this is money.
Well, yeah, but I feel like they'd be able to on a more grandiose scale now because of the game. So I'm just wondering.
Let's see.
You weren't hearing no $100 million contracts back in the early noughts, like 2010. So I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do a specific search for that because I just keep running into how much do the games themselves make, not how much do they receive. But this is 2018. According to its latest 2018 financial report, FIFA generated more than $4.6 billion in revenue. This is the game.
This is
the game. The game generated
$4.5
billion. This is what we'd be talking about.
This single game is generating more money than some companies that have existed for decades.
This is what I'm talking about.
I think they have more money than Sony, bro. How much is Sony worth?
Bro, EA
I think Sony.
Is you're forward today.
Yeah,
they might have more money than because they don't make hardware, bro.
They don't.
You see what I'm saying?
So that's just left overhead for them to have to worry about.
Yeah, dude.
Sony makes hardware, so that's cut into their
right.
Like Microsoft makes hardware, so that's cut. Well, they have the deepest pockets in the world, so it doesn't even matter. But
their total assets at the moment are 11.11 billion. This is EA. Their revenue is 5.54 billion.
And in its 2019 financial year, Sony Corporation reported a net income of 5.4 billion.
So that was their net
FIFA's making
income.
Half of that.
Right. And FIFA is pulling in that by itself.
That's a lot of money.
Crazy. Yeah.
That is an absurd amount of money.
Yeah.
From those hundreds, thousands, 10,000s.
Pretty nuts.
Of people spending thousands.
Right. And some of that stuff is in like And like, how do you even track that? You know what I mean? Like, how much money are they making that we just don't know about? Like, that doesn't have to be reported, you know? Contracts and things of that nature with ad companies and things that you just don't have to report.
You don't have insight
to
on,
public.
yeah.
So it's nuts, man. It's nuts. EA is in hot water. They're on thin ice. There's constant reports about this all over. You can look at any publication, IGN, The Verge, PC Gamer. You look
Everywhere,
anywhere, you're
whatever.
gonna find EA and FIFA 21 and EA Gate scandal, whatever. You look that stuff up, it's everywhere. They're in hot water. They have a lot to say. Like Key was saying, you cannot say nothing. You have to address this. Mandatory.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your rock is depending on this. Your $5 billion yearly juggernaut is depending upon what you do next.
Imagine you losing half your income in fell swoop.
You don't mess this up. You don't do that.
You're about to lose $2.5 billion year over year because you got some rogue employee or you got some weak systems, whatever the case may be, that whoever gained access to your systems.
Yeah, man.
You better do something.
It's a bummer.
This is why I'm in cybersecurity. Like that right there, even if it wasn't an external factor, the internal factors and processes that are in place so that employees are not allowed to access systems that they're not allowed to access, to perform actions that they're not supposed to perform. It's not that hard. And I just see companies skipping on, like you saw Capcom's getting hacked. They're forcing their people to come back into the office because they don't want to put more money into their security aspect.
Wow.
So now they're putting people's lives at risk and things like that. When you can just spend the extra money, put the extra money so that things like that don't happen in the first place.
Who's doing that?
Capcom.
They don't want to.
Capcom and Konami, they both suffered breaches recently.
So their counter to the breaches,
their counter is
just
be like,
just come back to the land, so you're not all over the country doing stuff.
Basically,
instead of just like, oh, well, here's some more money to protect.
It's not that much. Like I said, I'm in this field. I see how much these companies are spending for particular cybersecurity assets. It's not that much,
right?
In comparison to how much EA brought, 11.11 billion. That's their worth right now.
That's their total assets right now is 11 billion.
And you don't want to spend a few mil, some additional personnel, other applications. You don't want to spend a few extra mil. That could have prevented this whole thing. That's going to cost you billions potentially.
It's tough, man. It blows my mind that like companies this big, like, because like, I know you can't disclose those numbers, but like, I'm sure there's a discrepancy from some companies, and you think to yourself, like, I know the size of this company. I use their products. They should be putting way more money into XYZ. And
then they don't, and then it's too late, and then it's like, yeah, let's do this, but nobody likes you anymore. Nobody trusts you anymore. No, we don't want to buy your products right now. It's too late. So now you know why I be getting on y'all about like security stuff like that, man.
No,
like
I get it. I always get it.
I understand.
Crazy.
But yeah, let me get one of those Ronaldo mementos though. I know you hear us out there.
That's crazy.
Nah, keep that away from me.
That's crazy.
I don't play the game like that, so
they
won't notice.
Put it on the real transfer market, and then we can talk. Well, I'm not doing none of this black market stuff. Dude, I don't spend any money on the game besides the game itself. I grind for my stuff, and I know like I'll probably never catch the best players in terms of just having the best cards because they're super expensive. But like, I'd rather grind or spend my own money than cheat. Just get out of here with that, dude.
Absolutely. Never cheating.
Get out of here, bro.
Never cheating.
Get out of here with
that. That is never an option, dude.
Like if there was FIFA online and it gave me access to all the cards, like put in debug mode, I can see all the cards. Cool. I'll play with them offline, whatever.
Right.
You want to be going on foot or seasons or whatever else with my 200 over character or whatever.
Yeah, bro. Get out of here. Get all the way out of here with that. Okay, yeah. I think I'm good here. I don't know. I love the game and I love the mode, and it just sucks to see people muck it up and destroy its integrity because they don't want to grind or whatever. They just don't want to work as hard as anybody else. It's just
And I wonder why now. Like you said, Foot's been out for it's
Dude.
12. It's his 12th year now.
And people have known about this type of stuff for years. Like people know. Like
Oh,
people
people-
screenshot stuff. And
Mm.
people are like, "How do you have this deck? This is crazy." Like
Mhm.
because for the people who know, like it's less now with the next gen consoles. But when you load up a match online, the
Mhm.
loading screen is your opponent's starting 11. It's their opponent's team, and they tell you their
Mhm. And
overall.
they tell you.
They tell you their team chemistry, and they give you a layout of all the cards, like a real football match. You see the other team starting 11, their strengths, their weaknesses, etc.
Oh, really?
They do
Oh,
the
okay.
same thing in this
Oh
game.
yeah, but you ain't
so
seeing
get-
that in this version.
Right. So you get a layout of their team, their chemistry, and their overall. It's dope. And they get to see yours. It's like a real sports event. And then so you get to see, like, you're like, well, wait a minute, how do you have all of those cards? That's crazy. Now we know.
Question.
Answer.
Is it skill-based matchmaking, or can you just pull up on anybody randomly?
It's skill-based matchmaking as well.
Very skill-based
It's
matchmaking.
skill-based
Okay, that's
matchmaking
good.
as well. Yep. Yep. I mean, but with cards like that, sometimes you don't have to play well.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was just seeing if like somebody with that can just pull up on a noob. Like if I just hop in with my 1st
Mhm.
deck, am I gonna run into this dude?
You could on like a Tuesday at 12 when there's not a lot of people on.
But there's nobody on. Yeah.
You can run
but-
into them.
Oh wow, really?
But like
Interesting.
on
Okay,
like a
That's in, like,
Friday
any
night,
video
you'll
game.
stay in your bracket.
gotcha.
But yeah, man, it's highly unfortunate. It's really sad. So I want to move on to something a bit more positive.
Bit more positive.
Well,
Let's move on to something a bit more positive.
Yes.
Which is everybody's favorite segment of the week, of course, and it's B's throwback of the week.
Yeah.
No special tunes this time around,
Bro,
but next
every
time
I
around,
do this, dude. This is my
I was
life.
waiting. I was waiting for it.
It said it's playing, but you guys can't hear anything. That's
Negative.
All right, let's just roll.
Hey, where's the music?
No, it's
Me?
me. It's me.
I'm not running the
I know.
show.
me.
B, where's the music?
Where is the music? It's there, but it's not playing.
Music
there,
make
this-
you lose control.
You know, a particular application likes to flout its tendencies. So,
Yes.
sorry.
Ah, well. All right. I mean, we need a new theme song anyways. We're working
We
on
do need a
it.
new one. Yeah,
yeah, it's
we'll
coming.
be in
It
touch
is
with
coming.
particular parties in regards to
It is
this.
coming. But anyway, moving on. The throwback of the week for this week is it's old. It's definitely old. It's definitely old compared to what we got now. This
Define
game,
old.
it was released in 2004. It's not crazy old, but still
That's pretty old, man.
Right.
16, 17 years. Okay.
Right. But still long enough to be
Listening.
out there. Reese, you probably have no experience with this game. This
No.
game was developed by Bungie.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably a huge giveaway right there.
Yeah.
Published by Microsoft Game Studios. Directed by Jason Jones. I'm only going this deep because of the level of love that people have for this game and this series. Was released November 9th, 2004. First person shooter, Halo 2. Bang.
Very minimal experience with Halo
Yes.
2.
Halo 2. I picked this game for not only personal reasons, but for the impact that it had on the community, online gaming.
Fam.
Yeah.
Halo, I never played it.
Okay.
I like my brother owned it and some friends of mine owned it. So it was me like primarily watching it and
Mhm.
getting a little interaction with it. You're like, yeah, let me give it a try. Why not? Its influence is gargantuan.
It's crazy.
If you
Gargantuan.
ask me, there is no way that even the layperson would not be able to recognize this.
Bro.
This is a game where you can ask your parents to get it and they would know what it is. They wouldn't mispronounce the name or anything like that. They were like, oh, Halo? Yeah, I know about that game. You'll get that real quick.
Mhm.
That's how it's gargantuan. I think that's the appropriate word for it. Honestly.
Yes. Like
This is coming from someone who didn't play it.
see what I'm saying? Like real quick, like in our chat, like one of our astounding members, KJ, is saying that he played Halo 2 until they shut the servers down. Like
Yeah, they had to forcefully shut the servers down.
Like
'Cause they didn't
Halo
wanna stop playing it.
2 was, like we said, gargantuan. So the Xbox was released. Xbox was doing okay. They were having some issues. Yada
Mhm.
yada yada. Halo Combat
Halo.
Evolved comes out and saves the entire console known as Xbox. Without Halo Combat Evolved, there was reports and there was worry that the Xbox might not make it. Halo saved the Xbox and gave us all this wonderful stuff that we have now, Game Pass and Fable and Gears of War. Literally, this game, the predecessor of Halo 2, kind of saved the Xbox, according to some reports. But then Halo 2 destroyed everything that we know about multiplayer shooters because it brought this kind of couch multiplayer game online and changed
Like,
and brought Xbox Live to life. This was the game that people were playing and paying. Now remember, this is the PS2 era.
Yep.
So if you
Halo 2?
Halo 2 is on Xbox OG.
Yeah, PS2, Xbox era. Yeah.
Xbox OG, and people were playing online. This is when people started to drop their PS2s or their PlayStations to go play online. Because
it was too much of an effort to get your PS2 online.
To get your PS2 online. And then when PS2 realized they had to catch up and they made that what is it, that ad hoc thing that you had to plug into the space in the back of your console.
Yeah,
so you plug up
don't
to
you
it.
love all those old consoles that had those
Add-ons?
random ports that just never used, like the one at the bottom of the 64, the one at the bottom of the GameCube, the one in the back of the PS2, which like you just said, wasn't used until way later.
It's like they leave space, like just in case something happens. If we need to, right? They leave some sort of space.
Port on the back of the PS1, but yeah.
So Halo 2. Now the commercial success of 1, this game was highly anticipated, and to some people, the story wasn't as good. The story game was just decent. It was just more of the same, which wasn't that bad. But people didn't. It was about the online. This was like the first like big smash success that was online, Xbox Live, and it changed the way that we game.
Literally.
You know what's crazy, bro?
Yeah.
Is that I played dummy amount of hours of Halo.
Yep.
Like a lot of Halo.
Yep.
But never online. Not
Same.
once.
I was getting to that point. So I was a PlayStation owner. I had a PS2. So I didn't have all of this stuff. I didn't have online stuff until PS3. So going over to our really good friend's house, M-Card, we used to just like play split screen for hours upon hours of this game. Like we beat the campaign. We played against each other in all the different modes. It wasn't until later I went to a buddy's house and he was like, "Wait, you've never Halo 1? Stop. Come here. Have a seat."
Yeah, because we were still in GoldenEye / Perfect Dark, like all those modes. So he's like, "Man, what's the point? We good right here."
Right. We were playing 13. We were playing those types of shooters, and then the Enlightenment happened. Showed me this game. I was like, "Oh, those are other live people that you're shooting against. This is insane. This is insane." Bro. Fast forward, I get a PS3. I play Call of Duty. It changes my life. But this game did it first.
Me and Ray and my younger brother would spend hours. I thought it was, I'm pretty sure we played both Halo 2 and 3. I don't know. Maybe it was just 3. I don't know. But we spent dummy amount of hours playing Halo. And it was the because my brother had the 360. We had the OG Xbox, and then we got the 360 as well. But I didn't really mess with our Xboxes at all. But in any case, we would spend stupid amounts of hours and split screen offline couching up on Halo, like dummy hours. And
dummy hours.
Bro, so like it's crazy about how much time I've spent in Halo, but never online.
It's crazy,
like,
right?
Answer me this. Y'all spend more hours on Halo or Double Dash?
Oh, it was, there's it's hard, dude. We had because Ray would come over. Listen, me and Ray, that was my homie, man. Like we used to chill a lot, hang out a lot. So he would come over all the time, and we had a gauntlet. We would play Double Dash, we'd play Halo, and we would play Beast. What is it called? Beast War? No,
Bloody Roar.
Bloody Roar. There we go. Bloody Roar for GameCube.
Okay.
And we would just swap out. When we got bored of one, go back to that one. When we got bored of that one, go back. And Ray would be there for hours. And he'd come over the next day. We do it again. This is how I got good at these games. I was always just playing these games.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was offline. So,
Right.
And it was offline.
It's crazy. So Halo 2 was a commercial and critical success. It is often listed as one of the greatest video games of all time. The game became the most popular title on Xbox Live, holding that rank until the release of Gears of War for the 360, nearly 2 years later. Halo 2 is the best-selling first-generation Xbox game with more than 8 million copies sold worldwide. And it gained critical acclaim with the multiplayer mode. The multiplayer changed everything, because not only now are you selling 8 million copies of a game, but now you have potentially 8 million people paying a $60 subscription to play your game online and have the chat.
8 million. I would have thought that would have been more than that, but this is back when video games didn't have like crazy sales figures like that.
8 million copies is a lot for a game. Like The Last of Us 2 just sold 4 million.
I always get those numbers kind of skewered in comparison to like console sales and things like that.
Yeah, nah. This is
8 million. Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of sales for a game.
Okay. I'm gonna look that up later to get more of a feel for appropriate numbers. Like bestsellers and how many copies they sold. Because I'll see numbers in the 10s and the 20s, and then I'm like, that's a lot of sales.
Yeah, no, there's Minecraft, which is like 200 million. Like, that's crazy.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? But
aside from the obvious players in that scene, I'll say.
But also, like you say, for the time, because there's more gamers now. Now there's
there's way more. That was 20 years ago?
It's like 3-something billion gamers now. So like now it's crazy. Like now there's games that have sold insane now. But at the time, 8 million was
at the time 8 million was a lot. Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you weren't about to. What was the Xbox then? Like $400?
Something around there. I would say it was like
$300. That was the hurdle that you had to clear in the early knots, 01, 02, things like that.
Yeah.
Yo, nobody ever heard of Murakamo? I'm the only one that played Murakamo.
Murakamo? I don't remember that game. I don't think I.
Murakamo. I always bring this stupid game up. This was like one of the first games that we got for Xbox. This game
you do keep bringing this damn game up.
Yeah,
and it's from software and Ubisoft. I'm like,
the number one best-selling game of all time is Minecraft at 200 million, and number 2 is Grand Theft Auto 5 at 140 million.
You want to know why? Because they sold it over 3 console generations.
I was about to say, like they're fluffing the sales, bro. It's literally on 3 generations. Like,
now they're talking about like,
but you guys are forgetting that it's a PC game. It's like, so it's just forever. It's just, it's like Minecraft. It's just forever.
It's just forever, yeah.
Like GTA 5, like GTA Online is just forever at this point.
There's a version that's forever, and then there's a version for us that have to keep on buying it over and over every time we upgrade.
They really need to
we sell it,
port it over
credit
for free.
Huh?
Like they really should port it over for free. Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
you had to
absolutely
buy that game
because we buy it and then we get bored of it, and when we sell it, and then we miss it, so we buy it again.
We buy it again.
And then we get bored of it, and like, all right,
it's time dimensional. Rockstar got a time dimensional going.
They got us all locked in a time dimensional loop, bro. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm. And hold on, check this out. Just a tidbit for Reese right here. Number 3 is Tetris EA at 100 million for mobile. It was released in 2006. And then you scroll down to
bad Tetris game too.
And you scroll down to number 9, which is Tetris. The original,
the GBA,
not the original, but the Game Boy for
the 89. Game Boy one for 89. Yep,
89. Because that's the one.
That's the one. That's the one I had.
That's the 9th best. The the best selling Tetris is number 3rd for mobile. How do you feel about that?
I don't like that one. Like it's like how you supposed to? Hold on, let me just.
But yeah, man, Halo 2.
Yeah,
and its impact on gaming was the main reason why I wanted to bring it up. It's dope. Like just like I've spent thousands of hours playing. Well, I wouldn't say thousands, but hundreds of hours playing this game offline, just because I didn't know about the online until I got enlightened, and it literally changed. It changed how we look at first person shooters. And like Key doesn't even play campaigns really like that anymore. You can't wait to just get a Call of Duty or something and jump to the multiplayer. Just jump right on there.
This most recent, I didn't even download campaign. I was like, I'm good. I don't need that.
Ridiculous, dude. You're ridiculous.
Don't need that. And I didn't download zombies either.
See what I'm saying?
Straight to multiplayer.
Like,
Warzone.
It's crazy.
That's funny because this is my first foray into zombies. Like the 10th card game in. It is like the 10th game in, right? There's 4 Modern Warfares. Like 3 Black Ops. Then there's Advanced. Then Infinity Warfare or whatever. It is like 10 games.
I like zombies for a short stint when we was living with M-Card. He made it fun, but overall, I don't like the zombies thing. Yeah. I liked Aliens, but the Call of Duty community hated Aliens, so they
that's Advanced Warfare.
That's Advanced Warfare. Yeah, they threw that in the bucket. They was like, I'm good on that. And then
yo, I think our friend group is the only group on the entire planet that like Aliens. Yo, if you like Aliens, can you join the Discord? We want to talk about it.
Because it was different. Like it was different aliens it was different, man.
It was hot. It was hot. It was definitely different. It was cool. And they definitely was like, no one liked it. Everyone just wanted the same zombies mode again.
Everybody just wanted zombies. Everybody just want to go activate the reactor and then go and get the
mystery box.
Open the box and
put
like
the planks on the door. Like it's like
you just want to do the same thing. Oh, like stop with these zombies, man.
The new card campaign is fire. Like they give you choices and things. And you gotta go and based on the choice, you get information to do side quests. Like it's crazy.
Too bad you'll never know.
But it's just that the last point I'll make about Halo 2 before we start closing this thing up is one of the big things that I remember about playing video games online early, like in its infancy stage, was that you had to join lobbies manually. You know, like we played a game like that recently called Project Winter, where like you have to you have to go into the public lobbies and look and see if there's space, and then join a public lobby. Halo 2 was one of the first games to use that matchmaking system with playlists. So it's like capture the flag, team deathmatch, king of the hill. And you just hit a button, matchmaking begins, you get loaded into a lobby, and you go. And that steady flow of games is what literally changed online gaming for forever. Not to say now maybe Halo 2 wasn't the first. I'm not seeing any of that type of information. But for a Smash game, I think they were the first commercial success type story to implement that, and it changed it. Like Activision had to see that and go, "Oh, we need that."
That's
because
genius.
Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare is literally that same type of style.
Hey, so I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying Bethesda got all their games on Game Pass right now.
Facts.
And they have Wolfenstein Youngblood, and I don't really know all like the Wolfenstein series all like that. But Reese, I'm just saying, story mode is co-op, and I'm just saying.
Oh, is this going to be our game? Because I got a game with B.
Yeah, we could have a TTTV co-op Wolfenstein playthrough. Just could. I don't know. Nothing confirmed. But I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Y'all should do that.
It might could be.
If I'm available, I'll just sit back and talk trash the whole time. Then again, I'll probably
get in my way because if there's friendly fire, he might shoot me in the butt. So
I feel like
be careful around him.
That one time in Perfect Dark, you shot at me first. That's all I'm gonna say.
See what I mean?
As long as I take point, we'll be good. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
So how are we feeling about these points now? Since Key's forcing me to go ahead, Key, take point. Take us home then.
I'm just saying,
Because if you
I'm
don't do
just
it
saying-
right, I'm gonna shoot you in the butt.
I'm just saying that one time in Perfect Dark wasn't my fault. In any case, so we have that Gnosia game, which doesn't quite sound like my type. How y'all feel about that?
It's a possible for me. I'll take a look at it, especially if it's on sale.
Definitely I gotta watch some gameplay, see what I want to see someone else's reaction to it first before I.
It comes out
foray
on
into
Game
it.
Pass, like cool with me. But it's a Switch game, so probably not. That Gothic remake is a big ixnay on nah for that. For me, I'm good smooth on that, my boy. How about you guys?
Interested in the battle system, but it sounds like it's loaded with a plethora of issues, so I'm not sure yet. I'll keep an eye.
I'd probably sooner buy the older games than this newer one.
The older
get
games look
'em.
so fresh, dude. The older
They do
games
look hot.
fire.
They do look hot.
They look
But not
fire.
4. We don't talk about 4.
No, yeah.
No,
Wait,
no,
4?
no,
There's
I
a
think
fourth
older-
one?
I think
Hold
older
on.
games,
Really?
older games, just 1
Yeah,
through 3.
yeah. I don't even think there's an older one. I mean, a
Okay.
fourth one. So,
No, it's
Say
1
less.
through 3 and DLC. That's it. That's all you get.
Gotcha.
Got you.
And
Gotcha.
then we have the EA gate, which is basically full of cheaters with deep pockets, and also cheaters that are making their pockets deeper. And I'm not for that life. Not with it.
Don't
Yeah,
let me
no.
catch y'all online because y'all are scrubs.
Yeah, I
Trash.
play this game. I love this game. Cheaters and the people allowing the cheaters to cheat, the people who are responsible for the black market. You guys are all bad news for everything that is competitive. Get out of here, dude.
You want to know what they are, B?
Back with
They're
that
bottom
trash.
dwellers. That's what
Yeah,
they are.
that's- that's
I
just-
actually just downloaded
trash.
2K as well, so I'm gonna try and play
Oh,
that.
And you know
right.
it's in there
I
too,
just
man.
didn't-
Yo, watch out for those VC skimmers, bro. They're trying to get your
I just
VC.
wanna-
Oh, jeez.
I just want to
Virtual
look at
currency.
the card game. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see how. I just want to pull a Chris Middleton one time.
It's
and be
cool,
happy.
bro. It's dope. I'm telling you, once you get in, you get in. It's fun.
I'm trying to pull my boy. Who he
Alright.
came to the Celtics and they hurt his leg. What's his name? It's my boy too.
Gordon Hayward.
Gordon Hayward. Yes, I'm trying to pull Gordon Hayward.
He's on Charlotte now with LaMelo Ball. They're doing some stuff down there. It's cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
What a pair.
They're doing some stuff.
In any case, this has been another episode of Trigger Talk TV.
Trigger Talk TV.
Trigger Talk TV.